just tried to shoot me and kill me, and now you want me to apologize. It seems like Diddy is still manipulating strings outside despite his incarceration. Rumor has it that he recently dispatched his thugs to kill Ray J in his own house after Ray J was discovered speaking to the federal government a few days before. Ray J was already tied up and aware that his life was in jeopardy before anything ever went down, according to E, who was there when the incident occurred. Hazel continued by saying that Ray J would have drawn his Glock, and to be honest, someone would have been in a body bag by now if Chris Brown hadn't intervened to break up the altercation. Let's examine the specifics as the friction between Ray J and Diddy intensifies. Popular subject apparently Christian Justin and Quincy and his thugs swarmed him when he entered the parking lot with his manager David Amber Rose and Hazel E. A few days earlier when they pushed him at a Halloween party. Later, Ray J and Nicki Minaj appeared on an Instagram Live. Although there had been tension between Ray J and his opponents for some time, it appeared to approach a breaking point when they chose to confront him over remarks he made about Diddy on his show. They had previously attempted to exert pressure on him, but Ray J was prepared to show that he wouldn't back down this time. "Let's take a fade," he said, ready to defend his position. He had been the target of an assault in a hotel the day before, and Ray J had had enough. He said he would no longer tolerate their contempt as the argument heated up. In a sense, the idea was at stake here, not just the battle. Ray J wasn't scared to speak out and didn't intend to let them get away with what they said about his reputation. He had heard enough, and confronting the issue head-on appeared to be the only way to resolve it. Someone said, "This is the third time," but Ray J was unconcerned and adamant about standing his stance. It wasn't about the physical altercation then. Instead, it was about demonstrating his bravery in defending himself against anybody attempting to undermine him. Ray J was in a media frenzy while the situation played out. In addition to defending his character, he was now involved in the news cycle. "What's going on in hip-hop?" he said spontaneously. "Is this really what we're focused on?" Ray J thought it was ridiculous that this was being discussed instead of the actual problems. He became irritated and began to wonder about the more profound ramifications of what had been stated about him. "Can someone who steals from others be forgiven?" wondered the man. "People take not just your money and your spirituality, but even your masculinity and gender." The sting was exacerbated by the fact that the assaults were made public and the weight of the insults he had received appeared to linger. As he considered the circumstances, he became aware of something strange. Recently, there had been a lot of jokes, particularly regarding baby oil, and Ray J wondered whether people found it amusing. He asked, "Is that the message we're sending? I don't even use baby oil, though." Being nearby, Hazel E had seen some of the mayhem firsthand and wasn't afraid to share what she knew. Speaking about the fight with Ray J, she described how it became scary when she saw Christian Justin and Quincy around him. As the scenario rapidly turned stressful, Hazel couldn't resist joking about how lubrication may sometimes make things easier to manage. However, the terror in the air was too intense for her comedy to cover. Hazel disclosed that Ray J had a weapon in his suitcase, and she was afraid that things would have become fatal if Chris Brown hadn't stepped in quickly. There was tension in the air in the parking garage. Hazel remembered asking out loud whether there was a weapon in Ray J's luggage. She questioned, clearly anxious, "Does he have a blower in there?" She thought about how things had almost gotten out of hand the previous time they were outdoors with the Zeus possessions. Chris Brown appeared out of nowhere, like a force of nature, just as it seemed like everything would blow apart. Thanks to his fast thinking and involvement, the dispute was broken up before it worsened. If he hadn't intervened, Hazel thought someone would have ended up in a body bag. The dispute was more than furious. Instead, it warned about how easily things can go out of hand in the hip-hop industry. Ray J's moment of defiance became more than simply a personal fight because of the high levels of tension and egos at stake. It reflected the perilous society he was living in, and he could have just saved a catastrophe with Chris Brown's prompt action. The other manager is a jerk. They jumped on an interview with the Combs brothers as well. "How many of them were there? 2, 3, or 8? "Oh, it was them and 8. They attempted to rush you, but don't put this up. Blood is pouring out. It's simply going out, dog. I want to share more information we've been hearing lately because some of these individuals are too young to withstand the heat going their way. I left all that turmoil behind, but I believe it's time to speak out. Chris Brown, although it seems everywhere, I beg you not to post this online. Although you have yet to speak to me, rumors exist that they attempted to hurry you. These days I hear it everywhere and everywhere. The little homie's going to have to squabble, I made a joke about, but now I'm hearing it's on end. I suppose that's the current situation. Everything is publicly visible. We'll discuss this more when I return tomorrow and figure something out. Wack is out there trying to seize the little buddy while talking big as if he has something to prove. I need to know how hot this issue is becoming, even if it's beginning to feel like 1995 all over again. Wack didn't hold back a little later. He wasn't simply talking about forcing the lads to fight this time. He even went so far as to say that Christian had slept with a lady who was transgender. Was he there? When he said it, everyone was taken aback. Then Wack began discussing someone else. Wait, again, what's that guy's name? The other one, not him. You are aware of who I am referring to. In any case, Wack's remarks shocked a lot of people. They said that Wack only acted this way because Diddy wasn't around to discipline him. Wack wouldn't be talking so openly if Diddy was still in charge of things as he once was. But wait, it seems that Diddy continues to have some effect even while incarcerated. Diddy was not amenable when he learned that his employees were being intimidated while he was incarcerated. Even when Ray J and others vented their frustrations on his program, he made a few calls to get things under control. Already tense, the situation quickly descended into violence. Although it's unclear exactly how it occurred, Ray J was attacked. Ray J was able to escape somehow, but he didn't hold back once he got there. He accused Diddy of attempting to have him assassinated on social media right away. And it was just the beginning. Ray J continued after that. Following an interview in which Pastor Bryant made some offensive remarks, he threatened Bryant in a video and went on a rampage. Ray J had warned him not to make the interview public, but Pastor Bryant disregarded his advice. Ray J said unequivocally that somebody's getting snatched off the pulpit. If the interview were to be canceled, no one should play that interview, he growled. He felt degraded, not just angry. Whether you're a churchgoer or not, don't make someone feel threatened or offended, especially in a place they believe to be safe, he said. Be dignified, be respectful. Ray J now asserts that action must be taken before the situation worsens. And believe me when I say people are not pleased with how things are going. It's a disaster and things will only grow more problematic if they don't get a grip on it. Ray J was quite explicit in his warning. If this matter isn't rectified, it will only worsen. Some people even asked Pastor Bryant to end the interview because Ray J was rude. Ray J was threatening Pastor Bryant, and they shamed him for attempting to seem like a gangster and dangerous when he was only Bryant's younger brother. The word spread. Let's drop the tape in Pastor Bryant's name for the time being, but R will continue to do his thing. I wanted to add more, but the Shade Room's limitations prevented me from uploading it. Let it rain down like a melody from heaven, as Kirk Franklin famously said. Isn't it accurate? We've had to deal with the Kardashians for more than 2 decades because of him. Drop that interview, yelled a second voice. When someone brought up the fact that the pastor was abusing his sister, the annoyance was evident. Later, we'll go into more detail about it. Can we, however, discuss how Kim almost ruined Kanye? The drama never ends. Ray J said on Instagram that someone had attempted to take him out shortly after this commotion broke out. He clarified that he had almost been shot for refusing to apologize. Someone he had offended was pressuring him to apologize, and things became heated when they didn't get the desired answer. You want me to apologize to you? Ray J was furious, and Diddy was the first to come to mind. It was logical. At the Halloween party, Diddy's team probably attempted to approach Ray J since Ray J had been loud about his complaints with Diddy, even though he had never specifically identified him. Diddy managed the matter by making phone calls and pressuring Ray J to change his mind since he doesn't take public criticism well. According to some theories, this is why Ray J abruptly started to feel uncomfortable about making his conversation with Pastor Bryant public. It's possible that the panic began when he brought up Diddy during the interview. Ray J likely didn't want anything to surface about Diddy, particularly if it would lead to further disputes. He quickly changed his mind and said he did not like the interview to be broadcast. It seems like Ray J is now starting to deal with the fallout from the complex situations he has been involved in over the years. It may be soon that the entire scope of everything becomes apparent. However, many have theories. Someone said Ray J did that interview about Diddy, basically spilling everything that went down at the freak off. Even if all of this is conjectural, it's easy to envision shocking details that would be revealed during that interview. Diddy is renowned for operating tight ships, therefore, letting anything escape without repercussions would be impossible. Someone else said it was Diddy sending his bad boys after you, and given Diddy's reputation, it's difficult not to believe them. The terrible recollection of Whitney Houston's passing is another. According to reports, Ray J was with her when she drowned in that hotel bathtub, which further muddies his already complex public persona. Book of Lies, someone asked. Who authored it? Is Ray J's tale more complicated than it first seems to be? There are a lot of mysteries surrounding this drama, and as the layers come off, it appears that more information will soon be revealed. Chaos surrounds Ray J, and if this most recent episode is any indication, there will be a lot more to come. What are your thoughts then? Do you think Diddy is responsible for Ray J's near-death experience? Please leave a comment below with your opinions and remember to go here to see this other chaotic video.